up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Just finished watching the match, and Barcelona beat Atletico 1-0, back-to-back wins at the Riyadh Air Metropolitano Stadium, and we advance to the Copa del Rey final against Riyadh Madrid. 2 more Clásicos to come this season, and the game went exactly how I predicted in yesterday's match preview. I got the scoreline correct. It was exactly how I said. First goal for Barcelona come around the 25th to 35th minute mark. We got that. Then we just parked the bus, defended for our lives, and we got the result. Superb effort from the team. They, of course, came from difficult moments against Atletico this season. We were the rightful winners in this game, and we booked our spot in the King Cup final. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by Number One Foot. Number One Foot is by far the best replica jersey website on the market, and it's not even close. They have a variety of different items at the absolute best prices. They sent me 2 kits recently. First one is the retro Barcelona kit, the home kit, which I'm currently wearing right now, and also as well the second kit for that season in the blue edition. Oh my god, like, the stitching is fantastic. The quality is, superb. Feels like I have the actual, original kit for a fraction of the price. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get 10% off your order. That's BOY. Use it at checkout, and all orders above $80 as well will receive free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Hit the top link in the description down below and get your new football kits today. The starting lineup for this match is on the screen for you right now. It was Wojciech Szczesny in goal, a back 4 of Jules Kounde, Pau Cubarsí, Inigo Martinez, and Alejandro Balde. Midfield 3 of Frenkie de Jong, Pedri, and Fermin Lopez. Front 3 of Lamine Yamal, Ferran Torres, and Raphinha. The 2 surprises in this team were the 2 players in the middle. Fermin starting ahead of Gavi, Ferran Torres starting ahead of Lewandowski. Of course, Lua has not started any Copa del Rey game this season apart from the first one against Barbastro in January. So really no surprises there, but Fermin getting the nod against Gavi. The only goal scored in this match was scored by Ferran Torres. Very quick transitional play by Barcelona. The ball finds a way to Lamine Yamal on the right hand side, I think from either Pedri or Frenkie. Slips in a beautiful pass in behind 3 Atleti players to find Ferran Torres. He's running through on goal, 1v1 with the keeper down the right, toe pokes it to the left hand side, the weaker side of Musso, and he slips it into the back of the net, and that was enough to secure Barcelona to the advancement of the Copa del Rey final, and of course the big win on the night as well. So overall, the team performance rating on the night, I'm going to be giving it a very strong 9 out of 10. I think Barcelona played a fantastic game, and again, it went as I expected, so that's why maybe I'm being a bit more generous with the rating. We absolutely battered them for that first 45 minutes. We absolutely clotted them. It was scintillating football from Barcelona. The quick movement and play, the transitional play, the defensive actions as well, going forward, using the wings, attacking to the middle, quick one-touch play. We killed them. Absolutely killed them in that first half. We should have been minimum, in my opinion, 3-0 up at halftime. Kounde missed a chance, Lamine missed 2, Ferran missed 1, Rafa missed a huge one as well. There's of course that other Rafa one from the Pedri back heel. 6 clear chances, only scored 1. Should have been up further in that first half. Second half went exactly as I thought. Barcelona gonna soak up all the pressure and of course hit on the counterattack in transition. That's exactly what we did. Of course, I thought they're gonna have momentum on their side. They went forward. They of course made a triple sub at halftime. So they were going forward. Atleti, to be fair to them, didn't really create that much. They of course had the Sola shot that went just wide, then the Sola one that they scored that was offside. After that, they didn't really do much. They got in behind a few times, but were very, very ineffective. The final pass wasn't there, or the final space. I think Barcelona defended very, very well in that last 20 minutes. And also on top of that, we had chances in the second half to kill the game. Not as much as the first half. I can think of 2 or 3 off the top of my head. There was the Lamine Yamal counterattack. There was the Raphinha chance as well. Balde had a good opportunity. So I think it was a attacking masterclass in the first half and a defensive masterclass in the second half. Giving a clean sheet again away to Atletico, no mean feat. Not conceding a goal, getting the 1 goal, and of course remaining firm on our stance in holding that lead. If you look at the 2 Copa del Rey semifinals, they both went the exact same way. First game at home for Barcelona 4-4. They went away 1-1-0, but Real Madrid did the opposite. They won away 1-0 first and then drew 4-4 at home. So both games went pretty much the similar route, but I think of course Barcelona with the better performance in both games. I think in the first game we dominated about a good 70 minutes. I think in this game probably a good 70 minutes again as well. I'll say I thought they were on top from about the 50th minute until the 65th minute, until we made that sub when Lua came in. I think that brought us a bit of stability. But I think the team performed very, very well. They thugged it out. They dogfighted it in that last 20 minutes as well. They're fighting for their lives, putting their bodies and their legs and their heads on the line. You have to commemorate that when it's due. So in my opinion, the team performance rating on the night will be getting an absolutely sensational 9 out of 10. Let's now get into the players' individual player ratings. Some of the usual ones here. We're going to start, of course, with the goalkeeper, Wojciech Szczesny, in goal. 7 out of 10 for him. Again, sturdy performance. Didn't really have to make any saves in this game. Command the box superbly well. Passing on the back was sublime. His catching as well in this game was superb, from corner kicks, from through balls, rushing out, time to perfection, and of course kept the clean sheet as well. If he made one big save in this game, but we definitely give him an 8, maybe even a 9. But with him not making too big of a save, he kind of did the minimum I would expect from a top goalkeeper for Barcelona, which is what Ter Stegen has failed a lot at in recent years. But absolutely sensational in goal from the Fumador tonight. Controlled it, gave Barcelona calmness, gave us, tranquility that they had a good goalkeeper in between the sticks, and they never looked like scoring Atleti. Of course, he did, concede a goal that was rightfully ruled out to be offside, but I think he positioned himself very, very well in this game for the entire 90 minutes, and credit where it's due for Tech. So 7 out of 10 for me. Great performance from him. Now for my partnership in front of him, first on the right hand side, it was Pau Cubarsí. 7 out of 10 for me. I thought he had a really, really good 45 minutes. Was basically controlling everything down that side for Barcelona. Few misplaced passes in that first 5 to 10 minutes of the second half. Those cut-in passes that he likes to do into the midfield. A lot of them were misplaced. But I think in the air, on counterattacks, especially in that first half, dealt with it very well. Only played an hour due to probably him just wanting to regain a bit of fitness there. But I thought he played a really, really, really great game. So I will be giving him a 7 out of 10. Center back partner, of course, on the left hand side, it was Inigo Martinez. 7 out of 10 for me as well. Thought he was absolutely superb in this game. Looked a bit injured near the end of the game. Hopefully nothing too serious there for him, but on the ground, in the air, was sublime. His passing was surprisingly good in this game. To be fair, I think a lot of the Barca players gave away a lot of passes in that last 20 minutes, probably after the 70th minute mark. But I tell you what, it was just a superb defensive display from Ini tonight. I thought he was sublime, especially when we were dealing with a lot of counterattacks up until, I would say, the 60th minute mark. Before Sorloth scored that goal that was offside, everything was going down the Ini side with Balde, and he was locking them down like no tomorrow. In the air as well on corner kicks was absolutely out of this world good. So defensively was superb Ini today, and it's just fantastic to see. 7 out of 10 from me. Into the fullbacks now. Firstly, Alejandro Balde at left back is a 7 out of 10 from me. To be fair to him, I think he had a good 70 minutes. I think the last 20 minutes he was absolutely abysmal, misplacing so many passes that could have, of course, gone to Atleti. They could have transitioned forward and scored a goal. His passing was very, very poor in that last 20 minutes, but first 30 minutes, I thought he played a really, really good game. A lot of moments where he's, pickpocketing second balls in the midfield, especially in that first half, which again, you'll love to see from a fullback. Defended very well against, he was going up against 20 different attackers. He went up against Griezmann in this game, Molina, Llorente. Who else was down that right-hand side? I think Leonel Lamar as well was playing there at some point, and he dealt with them all very, very well going forward as well. Didn't have any, crossing chances, but a lot of those forward runs, past the halfway line in the midfield, with the likes of Pedri and Fermin down that left, he interplayed with them a lot very well. Similar with Raphinha as well. Again, I would have probably given him an 8 as well, but just that last 20 minutes from him, I think on the ball was very, very poor. So I will give him overall 7 out of 10. I think he had a good game nonetheless. At right back is your boy Jules Kounde. After all his 6 out of 10s over the past month and a half, he's finally right on the ranking. I've given him an 8 out of 10 tonight. And again, why? Because where Kounde is at best, defensively. Defensively today, he was absolutely sublime. Again, like Balde did that with a lot of different attackers in this game. Griezmann, Julian Alvarez, Barrios, Riquelme, Javi Galan, Reinildo. Lock them all down. Those blocks he had in the last 20 minutes for those crosses were absolutely superb. Going forward in the first half was doing okay. Of course, had that chance, the volley that probably he should have scored. To be fair, and a nice little flick over Lenomard. Second half, didn't go for it whatsoever, apart from that one great cross he had in when that space opened up on the right hand side where Frankie found him. The cross was okay, but the accuracy was way off. I think he just crossed and hoped for the best. Wasn't think he was really aiming for anyone. The passing lane by Lewandowski, of course, was closed off by Lenglet. But again, it was the first half. It was solid up and down from Jules. Second half, it was all about the defensive action, and he did an absolutely fantastic job, and also held the line very well with Balde. It was Inigo and Araujo that were a bit deeper at some times. We were trying to hold that offside offside trap. But defensively, Kounde in the last 20 minutes was absolutely sublime. This is why I think at a center back he'd do wonders in this team. We just don't have a right back right now, unfortunately. But Jules, 8 out of 10 for me. Absolutely sublime. Into the midfield now. Firstly, with the captain Captain De Jong in the pivot, I've given Frankie an 8 out of 10. And my man of the match. You're probably wondering, well, Barca boy, blah, 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 you're a fucking idiot. Let me land. I think Frankie in that first half was world class. The reason why is because he was dictating everything. Usually it's, of course, Pedri dictating everything. But I don't know why, who, what, when, where, why, how. But today, it all came down to Frankie. The amount of balls he won back in the midfield, the amount of interceptions he made, the second balls won. I will say, of course, in that last 20 minutes, was giving the ball away quite a bit. I think it's just due to him being leggy. And again, the whole entire team were giving balls away. Lamine, Rafa, Lewa, Ferran, whoever it was in the game. Everyone's just giving balls. Because just, win the ball back, try something, doesn't work out, get back and defend. But his runs in the midfield, he glides past 2 or 3 midfielders every time he picks up the ball. Defensive actions as well. Made some great interceptions in the second half. Remember one being from DePaul, which ended in a counter-attack, and Lamine absolutely messed it up. I thought Frankie was all over the pitch today, and thank God Flick rested him against Girona this past weekend, or else he probably wouldn't have played the 90 minutes. I thought Frankie was absolutely sensational in this game, and definitely, in my opinion, the best Barcelona player over the course of the 90 minutes. So I have given him an 8 out of 10 and my man of the match. His favorite partner, though, was of course in the 8, was number 8 for Barcelona as well, Pedri, and you'll also be getting an 8 out of 10 from me as well. Despite, giving the man of the match, in my opinion, to De Jong, I still think Pedri had an absolutely fantastic game. The reason why is, of course, did everything that Pedri, tends to do, but so many times in that midfield where he gets double pressed, whether it be from Barrios, DePaul, Simeone as well, just turns, nice little movements, body feints, and they all just get sent to the shop, and he has so much space going forward. So many times that Pedri was getting pressed, I'm thinking, oh, Pedri reset it back to Kounde, reset it back to Ini, just a nice little turn, body feint, and then he just moves forward and just creates a massive transition. Did that so many times in this game as well. Had some great passes, some great long balls over the top as well to the likes of Jules Kounde, to Raphinha, down left hand side. Defended very well, I think, especially for an 8. So if you give Pedri the man of the match, I wouldn't, bat an eye about it. I just think Frankie over the course of the 90 was more influential, especially in winning balls back in the midfield and transition in that last 20 minutes where Pedri wasn't, even though Pedri was, of course, coming back and helping and tracking back. But I think Pedri still had a great game nonetheless, and I have given him a 8 out of 10. Now, in the 10 position was, of course, Fermin Lopez. Average 6 out of 10 for him. I honestly don't think he played poorly. Just really didn't get into the game too much. Had some great, when we were trying to, build up in that first half, doing the quick one-touch passes, he was, of course, involved in that a lot, and his passes were always very, very good. He wasn't the one messing up. Nice little back heels, nice little flick touches in behind. Was doing pretty well. I think defensively wasn't really doing the best. Once the ball went past the halfway line, didn't really track back too much when it was, of course, in transition. And, of course, didn't really create too much in the final third as well. It's kind of, the extra piece in there. Had some good movements, had some good passing ideas that he either overhit or that were intercepted. So I don't think he played poorly. I just think the game didn't really go in his favor. He didn't have any real luck in this game for him to be, of course, the creative mindset that we needed in that number 10 position. So not really, super poor, but definitely could have done maybe a bit better if things did go his way. So I will be giving him a 6 out of 10. Into the wingers, first on the left hand side, we do have Raphinha. Average 6 out of 10 for him. The live chat for the watch along, we're ripping into Raphinha. Raphinha looked like today that he wasn't tired, but I don't want to say lack of effort, disrespect Raphinha, but there was something missing in terms of his energy. We highlight the work rate of Raphinha this season has been exceptional. Probably the reason why he's front runner for the Ballon d'Or right now, but in this game it was non-existent. Tracking back very, very slowly. Didn't have that energy, that quickness, make chances and move the ball quickly. Always get the ball, stop and looks and takes his time, which you don't really want because you're slowing down the play. You're giving Atleti time more to reset, more time to think about what Barcelona going to do, close the passing lanes as well. So a bit slow from Rafa. Of course, missed 2 big chances as well. The sweat from Pedri, and also that chance in the second half as well, which he should have passed to Ferran, went for the shot and he was saved. So missed 2 big chances in this game as well. Creativity wise, I don't think he was really in creative areas. I think everything was kind of coming to him as the final finished product, and it wasn't that effective. I still think overall defensively this still did a very good job. That's the reason why Flick got them on and put him on the right hand side to help Kounde in that last 10 minutes when he took off Lamine. But just going forward, wasn't that extra. There wasn't that spark. Could be because he's tired. Maybe that's an instruction from Flick to not, move the ball forward too much. I don't know. But there was, of course, that visual effect. So I will give Rafa tonight a 6 out of 10. In the right wing, of course, it was Lamine Yamal. De se quedó más, man. I mean, absolutely sensational from him in that first 45 minutes. He was sublime. The flicks, the nutmegs, the great assists for Ferran. He had that chance as well, that bender before Ferran scored, which I thought he was going to put in. Some poor decisions as well. That counter-attack, which Frankie, of course, started, that he should have passed, and then he went for the shot. That was a bit deflected. But he was the spark. He was the outlook. He was where Barcelona were looking for chance creation and chance movement in this game, and he was very, very effective in that. Of course, got the assist for the goal as well, and he was everything down the right-hand side for Barcelona. Kounde would get the ball. Here you go, Lamine. Cook, do what you gotta do. And he had, Ronaldo and having Alana on strings for the majority of this game. Once he got that big ankle blow, where we saw, of course, him bleeding a little bit, it was a bit lethargic, and that's probably why Flick ended up taking him off, but was absolutely sensational in this game. And he's, people talk about, Raphinha, not being the most important player, that he shouldn't get the Ballon d'Or. Look, man, whoever you give it to, but Lamine, I mean, I think he's pushing now for top 5 conversation. That's how sensational this performance was, and how impactful he is on the best team in the world in Football Club Barcelona. So 8 out of 10 for me for Lamine, absolutely sublime. And last but not the least, up front, of course, Ferran Torres, 7 out of 10 for me. Of course, got the goal credit to him. I think the reason why he has quite a low score, maybe for what people expect, is because I think a lot of the fouls that he was, trying to attract weren't given, which I understand they are fouls, and I do agree with Ferran, they are fouls, but when they're not given, they give transition play, at the end it goes down as Ferran Torres losing the ball, which is a bit disappointing. Of course, great finish for the goal, missed 2 sitters before that though, which you cannot ignore. If he doesn't score this goal, he'd probably be looking at a 6 or 5 out of 10 for me. And I tweeted before the game, he cannot miss big chances in this game. When Ferran Torres tends to start the big games for Barcelona this season, he tends to play okay, then gets into those areas and misses, which is so frustrating. But this game he didn't. That's 3 goals in 2 games at the Metropolitano Stadium this season, of course, over the past month. I think he had a really good game overall. I think just some of the build-up play was a bit sloppy from him. Of course, we had so many that build-up play in the first half before he scored between, Pedri, Frankie, Fermin, Lamine. It slipped into him, didn't shoot it. He, of course, was claiming a penalty. Just these kind of, final touches is what I think what Ferran lacked a little bit today. Still played well, still got the goal, which, of course, won us the game and put us into the final, so shout out to him. I'm not really criticizing him, not really, going in on him per se, but just a little bit of a criticism into why I think Lewis should be probably starting these games in the bigger moments, in the bigger occasion. But still put in a great shift. I feel like his best role is off the bench, but he wants to start some games sometimes, and this is why Flick does trust him a lot. Came in, helped us, did a job. Superb from him, so 7 out of 10 from me. Finally, of course, the substitutions. The subs were Araujo, Eric Garcia, Lewa, and Gerard Martin. Of course, Gerard Martin got the ball a few times, ran forward a bit, got that yellow card, didn't really do much. Lewa had some nice hold-up play, didn't really have a chance going forward per se. Of course, that cross from Kounde that came to him would have been nice. I think Eric and Araujo came in and did a massive shift. Eric, there was one moment where he could have passed Lamine through with his weak foot, but didn't put enough power on it. But I think Araujo and Eric defended very, very well in this game, and they came on for a reason, and we were crying out for them for a reason. What did I say? As soon as Sorloth comes in, you bring on Araujo. Since then, Sorloth didn't have a sniff at goal. I think he had the offside goal that, of course, Araujo held the line for. I think that one that hit the side netting, I don't think Araujo was on the pitch yet. But even so, Araujo did his job. Eric Garcia in the midfield as well. Nice little replacement for Casado. He's really coming in and, putting a shift that we needed in there. And the subs today had some great impacts. It's disappointing that not all 5 subs were used in this game. No Gavi, no Hector Ford, no Pablo Torre, no Pau Victor as well. But these 4 subs really came in and had big impacts on the game. And last but not the least, of course, the manager, Hansi Flick, who tonight for me will be getting a 9 out of 10. Of course, got the advancement to the Copa del Rey final, 1-0 win, clean sheet as well. But I really want to give credit to Flick today is, of course, his in-game management. He picked a good lineup. Of course, for him, was a big question mark. Apparently, reports said that he was going to bring on Gavi later on, but never brought on Gavi. Again, that 5th sub, where is it? Why is it not being used? Is Gavi injured? Gavi was warming up from about the 50th minute to the 90th minute, so clearly he was fit. In my book, maybe he has a little bit of a knock, I don't know. But again, the management, the double sub of Eric and Araujo was absolutely monumentally crucial. Bringing on Lua as well. I think those were 3 huge subs that we were all crying out for. And this shows for me that Flick is learning his lesson from the previous games against Atleti, where he could have had impactful subs to save us the game. And this game, he used them very well. And of course, the lineup he picked overall was decent. So credit to Flick where it's due. Managed the game well, but there's one more game left, mister, that you gotta win. Of course, in the final, but shout out to him, man. He's absolutely rocked my world this season, and he gets a 9 out of 10 from me. So that's a match review for Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona in the second leg of the Copa del Rey. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well. Let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss, mainly of course being your thoughts on the performance, your player ratings, and your manager rating as well. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care. Barca, Barca. Boom.